Knowing your dream client can literally make you a millionaire, just like these guys down below. These guys aren't any more special than you. They're not, they didn't get lucky. They just identified exactly who their dream client is, who their dream follower is, and then they dialed in and actually took action to create an audience and attract those people. And essentially, once you know exactly who your dream client is and you take action, you're going to attract more leads, sign better clients, scale faster, and with a lot less effort. And just by the way, I don't know what you've heard about this before, but this is extremely simple. This is extremely simple, and it applies to anyone selling info, essentially their knowledge or expertise, whether that's courses, programs, or coaching, okay? And essentially what I'm going to cover is how your dream clients can make you more money, the false beliefs that make people, or stop people from taking action and actually finding and attracting their dream clients, and how to identify and attract your own dream client, okay? So let's just get straight into it. So your dream client is someone who connects with you on a personal level, meaning they also be people that you actually enjoy working with because they share the same values, they share the same or similar morals and principles and outlooks on life or hobbies and stuff like that. Essentially, it's beyond just a specific problem and a specific desire. For example, like this, okay, your ICP is skinny people, wants to become muscular. Obviously, it's just an example. It can be a lot better than that. Overweight people who want to lose weight and build muscle. Someone who has a 500 credit score wants it to be over 750. Stuff like that. That's your ICP. But beyond that, who is that person behind that issue? Who is that person behind that specific problem? Who is that person behind the desire? And essentially, that is who your dream client is. And when you know exactly who they are, what happens is your audience, instead of them becoming small audience, your ICP audience only, and only targeting your ICP, you actually have a much larger audience because the total addressable market becomes much larger when you're also attracting people who like you, who vibe with you, who share the same principles, who share the same values. When you're not just purely in every single post talking about, I don't know, how if you're a skinny guy, how to become more muscular, or if you have 500 credit score or less, how to make it 750. You're not just purely the value guru, you're just someone who they really connect with. And that's the difference, and that's how you can actually attract your dream followers. So like I said earlier, your ICP is within your dream followers. So your dream followers, your dream clients, all the way here, and your ICP are within them, okay? So your ICP is inside your bigger audience. When you only make content for your ICP, the algorithm shows it to fewer people. For example, like I said, if you're over 30 and you want to lose that stubborn belly fat, this is what you should do. That's going to only attract people who are over 30 who wants to lose stubborn belly fat, which is important. You need to be targeted when you create content, but you also want to, grow and hit a larger audience and hit them and target them beyond just simply the pain points and the desires. Because that's what's going to make them really not fall in love with you, that's a stretch, but that's what's going to make them really vibe with you, essentially. So here are 5 ways finding your dream client will actually 100x your income, okay? So the first one is, like I said earlier, you start to reach the right people, not just more people. Everyone knows now that virality is dead. Or if you don't know, welcome, okay? Virality is dead. You need viral strategies as part of your content strategy, but if it is only your content strategy, if all you're doing is increasing your reach, but you're not reaching the right people, then they are worthless. You're not attracting buyers, you're just attracting watchers, okay? The second thing is when you actually attract your dream client, what happens is you have a more compelling message and it speaks directly to their needs and desires, which increases the resonance, increases the relatability, and increases the likelihood and increases the trust and the likelihood for them to actually want to be part of what you're offering, because what you're saying, your messaging, speaks directly to their needs and their desires. It's literally that simple. I know that's so obvious, but it's literally that simple. And not only that, when you start to have a dream client and you know exactly who you want to attract to your audience, to your ecosystem, the products, the info products, the courses, the coaching that you offer, they start to become highly relevant, extremely relevant to that person. And that person, when they see your offer, they feel like this offer has fallen out of heaven and it is for me. I really need this. And I really vibe with this guy, because you're not just attracting your ICP, you're attracting your dream client, your dream follower. And because they vibe with you as well, they are more likely to buy from you as well, okay? So that's the difference between just simply ICP and the dream client. You're attracting people who also vibe with you and like you, and on a whole personal level as well. And not only that, but you save time. You save time because you're not making content that is attracting the wrong leads. When you attract the wrong leads, not only that, not just when you make content, but when you attract the wrong leads, the people, the setters, the people who are booking calls in your DMs, the closers, or if you're doing all of that thing. Whoever's doing the setting, whoever's doing the closing, whoever is dealing with leads in your ecosystem, they're going to be spending time, wasting time with the wrong leads if you are attracting the wrong leads, which is why it's so important to attract your dream client, okay? It's so important to attract your dream client. And the fifth thing is, that's literally the best one, you start to get higher conversion rates. Your higher conversion rates are simply due to the fact that the people that are in your audience are actually dream clients. And within those dream clients, your ICP is there. And then, when you do a CTA, the ICP responds, and then you have higher conversion rates because you're not just having watchers who simply are quite curious about what you're doing. They're people that actually want to buy from you. And, like I said, it increases your conversion rates. It's literally that simple. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? But why do most people fail to target their dream client? Why do they actually attract watchers instead of buyers? Well, the fact is due to the scarcity mindset and false beliefs. Most people want to make $1 million. And I think to make $1 million, they need to talk to a whole wide group of people. But it's false. It's false. You don't need to speak to everyone. You don't need to speak to everyone. All you need is 1,000 true fans. And what I'm going to show you is, for example, if you're running high ticket, only the top 1% of creators will actually benefit from purely running a low ticket. Most people should run at least a high ticket, and some people can run a low ticket and a high ticket. It depends. It really depends where you're at with your business and what kind of funnel, what kind of audience you have, but you should definitely be running a high ticket, okay? And like I said, if you want to make $1 million and you have an offer that's $1,000, all you need is 1,000 customers to make $1 million. So now, instead of needing hundreds of thousands of views, instead of needing hundreds of thousands of followers, you just need, let's say, a few thousand followers, and within those few thousand followers, you have your 1,000 potential customers who then potentially become your customers, like I said, and then they make you the $1 million. And really, if you think you can't get 1,000 customers with a world population of 8.2 billion, really, do you believe you can't get 1,000 customers with a population of 8.2 billion, that 1,000 people who like you, who vibe with you, who are on the same wavelength as you, who also happen to have the specific problem and the specific desire that you can solve, then, I don't know, you might as well skip this video, okay? And the problem is, with this false belief, when you fall for it, and let it control you, you go back to speaking to everyone because you're scared that you're going to lose leads, whereas in reality, that's your last problem. Because even if you lose leads, your leads are not even qualified, okay? If you get 1,000 leads that aren't qualified, there's no point. You might as well get 100 leads who are qualified. So what you're really doing here is you're creating your fan base. You're creating your fan base. And within your fan base, you have your ICP, okay? Like we mentioned earlier. So, like I said, you don't need loads of views. You don't need to go viral. You don't need hundreds of thousands of followers. You just need 1,000 true fans. So how can you actually create content, and how can you actually identify who your dream client is so you can attract them and so you can bring them into your ecosystem? Well, firstly, you need to understand, what problems can you solve? What do you actually know? What problems do you solve every day? What questions do your customers ask you? Why is your thing different? How can you actually help people in a different way? Why is your mechanism better than other mechanisms? And what is unique about the way you do things that makes it attractive? And you need to tell stories from your work as well. You need to, what do you really wish that people knew that is going to really make the difference for them to achieve that desire that they want, okay? And then that's more so towards the ICP, okay? That's more so towards the ICP, but to the dream client, what keeps them up at night? And I don't just mean because they're not getting leads, okay? That is part of it. Yes, you could technically put that in this box. But what keeps them up at night is the morals and values, is the principles, is the goals they have, is the desires they have, the lifestyle that they want. That's what keeps them up at night, because they can't achieve it. They're not there. Sorry, not they can't achieve it. They're just not there yet, okay? And what content do they already share? What's their biggest frustrations? What do they want to achieve? And I'm not talking about the problem and the desire. I'm talking about life. What do they want to achieve in life? What kind of life do they want to build for themselves? That is the same thing that is going to attract your dream client. And essentially, how you can find those things is literally just by looking at yourself. Look at yourself, understand who you are, what your values, and start sharing them. Don't just be the content library of value and authority content, of the library of information for a specific problem. No, you need to be real. Share what you actually know and what you believe as well. Not just the facts, but your beliefs. reach. You can have reach as well. There's no problem with having viral content strategies. You need to go wide, get more eyes, more growth, yes, but all within part of the content strategy, not the only content strategy. Otherwise, you will just end up with an audience full of watchers. And then, like you said, like you already know, the value, help people, show your stuff, the authority, and that is going to convert, okay? So this is how you package your ideas so people can actually, want to watch, read, and share them, and then become your client, okay? So the 3 types of content, like I said, is the authority content, the growth content, and the connection content. Build real relationships, be yourself, show the human side that makes people trust you. People trust people. They don't trust, just because you have certain testimonials. Yes, that's going to convert a certain amount of people, but people are going to feel even more likely, they're going to even more likely want to be part of what you do when they actually like you too, which is why you need connection. The growth is part of the viral strategy, like I said. The authority is the testimonials, is the information, all of these things that can actually help them solve the problem. Okay? When you start to do all of these things, you can really, and I'm not joking, you can really become a millionaire. And if you want help, how you can create this content strategy so you can actually start converting your audience and actually making your way to becoming a millionaire, then just DM me the word millionaire and I'll have a chat and see if I can help you.